Some avoiders don't disappear because they stop loving you. They ghost because your strength became a threat. You got too loud, too clear, too unbreakable. Let's make something clear. Ghosting isn't about losing interest. Sometimes it's about losing control. The avoidant didn't vanish because they were bored. They disappeared because you evolved. You stopped begging, you stopped questioning, you stopped shrinking. And they didn't know what to do with the version of you that no longer needed their breadcrumbs. So they dipped, without warning, without closure, because that's what cowards do when the power shifts. See, you weren't ghosted because you were weak. You were ghosted because your clarity became too loud. You started seeing the games. You stopped mistaking mixed signals for mystery. And once the avoidant realized they couldn't guilt you, gaslight you, or guilt trip you into submission anymore, they did the one thing that still gave them control: disappear. Because when you can't dominate someone's heart, you try to confuse their mind. You ever notice how they ghost you the minute you start healing? The second your voice gets firm, the moment you set boundaries and mean it? It wasn't a breakup, it was a power outage, pulled by someone who realized their emotional lights were no longer in their hands. They didn't say goodbye, because if they did, you would have the chance to say no back. So they left like a thief, because your strength was too expensive for their ego to afford. Let's call it what it is. Ghosting isn't just avoidance, it's psychological warfare. It's, let me create a silence loud enough to make you doubt everything you know about yourself. But you're not crazy, you're not overthinking, you're not too sensitive. You were too strong to be softened anymore. And they knew once you found your voice, they could no longer speak for you. So if you're sitting there replaying everything, wondering why they vanished without warning, understand this: you became emotionally expensive. Not because you were demanding, but because you stopped playing the price for disrespect wrapped in mixed signals. You became unavailable for confusion. You stopped accepting almost. You stopped apologizing for needing consistency. And for someone used to controlling through chaos, that was their worst nightmare. So no, they didn't ghost you because they didn't care. They ghosted because you no longer cared enough to chase. You became the version of you they never thought would emerge. The version that doesn't fall apart when silence shows up. The version that doesn't beg to be chosen. The version that knows peace is louder than presence. You didn't lose someone, you lost a manipulator's access point. And that version of you, the one that keeps rising even after being ghosted, that's the real threat. Because once an avoidant knows that they can no longer break you in pieces, they stop showing up. Not because they lost interest, but because they lost control. You can't ghost power. Comment enough if this one hits deep. My ebook, Surviving and Avoiding Attachment, is your next move. If you've ever been ghosted, discarded, manipulated, this book breaks down the trauma loop and gives you the script back. Link is in the bio. Start now. Think about it.